I wasn't able to get out this weekend, which makes the first time in 17 weekends that that's happened. So I have a few hours now and decided to make the best of it by putting some of my gear in order and going through things and, swapping things out. And as I was doing that, it occurred to me that when you think of gear, generally you think of large or more expensive items such as tents, GPS systems, boots, Cuban fiber tarps. But I found, and it hit me this afternoon, that a lot of the gear that I rely on is small and cheap, reasonably priced, and you don't really look at that gear as being, fundamental, and yet that's the gear that I tend to rely on in my daily life, even aside from when I'm out in the woods. I've got a representative sample of that gear here, and it all fits in this little sandwich bag. And I've even got a backpack in there. That's right. Let's have a look. All right, I know I've piqued your curiosity with the last remark about the backpack, so let's get to that first. Yeah, I've actually got a backpack that weighs 2 ounces. Let's face it, you don't always need your 60-liter backpack. Sometimes you just want to go on a little day hike or go to the market even, and this weighs a little over 2 ounces. It's made by Sea to Summit, and it's a sil nylon backpack that kind of folds into itself, and I think, if memory serves, it holds 10 pounds of gear, so it's not bad. I mean, everything is integrated nicely. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when it comes time to put it back into this little stuff sack, it can be a bit challenging, but it's reasonably, I don't know if it's fully waterproof, but it's definitely water resistant. Again, it weighs 2 ounces. It's really comfortable to wear. Your stuff fits in nicely. It's a really nice product. If there's any negative at all, I would say the costs are all over the place depending on where you get it and depending on what color you get. Some colors are more expensive than others. The green one, which is the one I prefer anyway, seems to be the cheapest one. But all in all, I really like this product. So this is the first one. Now the old saying, the best knife you have is the best knife is the one that you have with you, and this is the one I always have with me. This sits on my keychain. It's just a classic Swiss Army knife. It's got a 1-inch blade, scissors. That wasn't even the blade, that was the nail file. Yeah, here's the blade, scissors, nail file, toothpick, tweezers. It's very rare that I need more than this, and it's so light and so small that you don't even notice it's there. So this is just a really great great tool, and I'm almost never without it. Another thing I'm almost never without is some sort of a light. This is a Nightcore tube light, and I believe this is a little over 1 ounce. It is LED, so if you click it once, you get a low beam. Click it again, it goes off. Click it twice, you get the higher light, which, gives off a really fair amount. If you click it once and hold it down, it's a variable light. It'll get brighter or lower. And it doesn't take batteries. It's USB rechargeable. You just lift up this little rubber flap here, plug your USB charging cable in there, and it lasts about 4 months on a charge. I really love this. I've had this about 4 years now, and it's never failed me. So once I lose it or it does ultimately fail, I'm going to get another one. A lot of you guys have a Jetboil. I resisted getting a Jetboil for the longest time. It's a great gear item. Everything is integrated nicely. its biggest strength is that, you know, the pot is designed to go with the stove, and it's efficient. This will boil water in 2.5 minutes. But I resisted getting it because its greatest strength, I thought, was also its greatest weakness. Sometimes, you know, I don't want to use a pot that's shaped like this. Maybe I want to fry bacon or make some eggs or, you know, something else. I thought that this was a limitation, you know, basically in the use of this item. But I didn't know that Jetboil sells this item for another $12. It will allow you to put it on the stove like that, and then you could put any, oh, you have to open the little things here, twist those open, and it, you know, integrates nicely. And now you can put any pot you want on this. You're not limited to this. Now, why Jetboil doesn't include this in the whole system, I don't know. Shame on you, Jetboil. And it's not even easy to find. Like, this item is buried in their website. I found it quite by accident. But for $12 now, this has made the Jetboil system, you know, it's opened up all new avenues for it. And I really, really like it. And again, I don't think I would have purchased the Jetboil if I didn't know about this. So this is Jetboil Pot Stand, $12, worth every penny. I have a DSLR which does not have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. So if I want to take a photo of that with that camera and then maybe get that onto social media like Instagram, let's say, normally in order to do that you have to first take out the memory card, put it into your computer, email the photo to yourself so that you can use your cell phone to get it to Instagram, because you can't, you know, put photos right from your computer to certain social media sites like Instagram. You have to do it through your phone. Big hassle, big hassle. Now obviously you can upgrade your camera body for a few $100s, or you can get one of these little readers. Now what you do with this end plugs into your phone in the charging port, and then you would take your memory card from your camera and put it in this little reader here. And if you use a micro SD, it comes with this kind of an adapter, so you can put the micro SD in here and then put this in the adapter. And then what this does, I put it in the right way, what this does is allows you to quickly and easily, and it's a lot faster than Wi-Fi because it's a physical connection, just get the photos from your card right to your phone. You don't need a computer. $10. They make these for iPhones, they make these for Android phones. Just a great, great little product. Wish I had known about this a year ago. My all-time favorite piece of gear has got to be the Bic lighter. A Bic lighter in a little plastic bag like this will almost never fail. In fact, I've been using Bic lighters since I was a kid, you know, behind my mother's back, and I've never had a Bic lighter fail. Never. It's never, ever failed me. So I know a lot of people, you know, don't like lighters, they prefer ferro rods, but if it became, you know, a choice between one or the other, I would always have a lighter with me. Now, that's not to say that I don't use ferro rods, and if you guys like ferro rods, I think this is the best one. This is the Light My Fire, Swedish fire steel. It's pretty lightweight. It's, you know, very, very reliable. It's got of all the ferro rods, I think it has the best composition of metal in it. It shoots off some really hot, you know, consistent sparks. I just like lighters. So this is what I usually have with me. Keep it in your pocket, you know, in a little plastic bag. You really can't go wrong. And it's dirt cheap. Now, where I live, we're kind of at the epicenter of Lyme disease, and you know, a lot of tick-borne ailments are now, you know, making their way here. I can't even sit in the woods. I usually bring a three-legged stool with me now because I just don't want to, you know, sit and have my lunch with the ticks. So despite your best efforts, you know, you treat your clothing with permethrin, you put DEET or picaridin on your skin, you know, it's always an eventuality that you're going to come home and find some ticks on you. So if you're unfortunate enough to have a tick, you know, get past your barriers, you're going to have to get him out as safely and as efficiently as possible. And I found that either this tick key or this Pro Tick Remedy, these are the two best working items. They allow you to get into under the tick and just like pull it out without, you know, having its head detached from its body, because that's when it starts to regurgitate, you know, whatever viruses and bacteria it's carrying, and that's what you want to avoid. You don't want to traumatize the tick in the process of removing it. So, you know, very cheap items. This one even comes with a, you know, a magnifier, because when they're in the nymph stage, they're so difficult to see. But yeah, you really, if you guys spend any amount of time in the woods, you need to have some kind of a tick removal tool, and these are two of the best right here. This next item is probably the cheapest here and the least glamorous, but the lowly safety pin. I have used these things so many times for clothing repair, for taking out bee stingers. It's just, you know, for what you pay, you really, and for what they weigh, there's really no reason not to take these out with you. Such a lowly item. It's been around for years and years and years, and it's not something that, you know, we get excited about when we buy them, but boy, are these things useful. I've got 3 items left. The first one is a good P-less whistle. This new style of whistle, well, relatively new, without the little P inside that you know, spins when you blow into it. They're so much better than that old style. They're so much louder, easier to blow, and let's face it, this is a cheap means of communication. I mean, if you're injured and, you know, you can't get to your phone, or you've got no signal, you can't really shout out because you're weak, you can still exhale into this and get I think it's 120 decibel, you know, whistle blast out of this that really does, under certain conditions, travel for miles. 3 toots of this is the universal signal here in the US of, you know, someone in distress. So, you know, for what it weighs, for what it costs, to not have a whistle with you, borders on negligence. Tea light candle. I mean, here's another item that can help you light a fire. It could keep you warm if you're stranded in your car overnight, you know, on a cold winter night. It's, you know, you can sterilize instruments with it just by keeping it going. It's just an amazing little thing that, you know, for you can get a bag of these at the dollar store, you know, a bag of like 10 or 15. It's just, they're so incredibly cheap. This will burn about 2.5, 3 hours. And again, when you have it in your little kit, you don't even know it's there. But when you need it, you know, it's good to know that you have it. The last item is also dealing with light. I mean, a lot of people like to use glow sticks, but, you know, they're a one-use item, and when the light has discharged, there's nothing left to do but throw them out. But I like these glow tubes. These are what divers use. They're completely waterproof. They run on one battery. This one is 5 years old. They come in different colors. Click it once and, you know, you get a bright light. Click it again, you get a duller light, and then for the 3rd time you get a flashing light. You can get them in red, yellow, blue, green, whatever you want. And again, they just run on this one AAA battery, and it lasts a long time, hours and hours and hours. So if you're camping, or, you know, you're just going to take a break and you don't want to lose your way on the trail, this is, you know, if you want to signal something or warn somebody if your car is broken down, this is a great little gizmo, the glow tube. So that's it. I mean, I'm sure you guys could compile your own list of small, useful items, and if you do that and you do a video, please link. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. But there it is. I mean, it's not always the glamorous item that, you know, that saves the day. Sometimes it's something as lowly as a safety pin, but better to have it with you than to wish you did. Once again, thanks for stopping by. Enjoyed having you with me, and we'll see you on the next one.